The fight between Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol has concluded, proving to be one of the most thrilling clashes of the Red season. Here are some of the most notable reactions from it.
Bud, what'd you think, man? I saw you dap up Dmitry in the ring. What'd you think of the fight?
Oh man, he did good, man. He won the fight.
Overall, the way he fought, what do you think made the difference tonight in your opinion?
He was in better shape.
Yeah?
He left it all in the ring. He wanted it more.
I'll be real, I was caught up in that conversation, future planning and so on. So I can't tell you exactly what the scorecards were, what it looked like at the fight because I wasn't fully locked in. But the score's the score, and you can't reverse time. What did you make of it? You tell me.
It was close, but yeah, I'm not going to argue with anything now. It was very close.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like the first one?
Yeah.
Would you want to see a trilogy?
I don't know if we need to, but I would definitely watch it. Would you watch it? I would definitely watch it. Joe, they're both very elite fights. What makes them so unique is that they're so different in terms of their game plans, their strengths, their weaknesses. They're so different, but they gel so well. I mean, because you're expecting one from Artur. Bivol's like slick and showing us what boxing IQ looks like. Then you got a rugged, tough, strong man in Artur Beterbiev, and they just gel really well.
What was different about this fight from the first fight?
I don't know, I think this fight better than first fight, but we'll see. It's my time to come back.
We come back, we saw Turkey Al-Sheikh come up to you right after with 3 fingers in the air saying third fight. Is that what you want? A rubber match with Dmitry Bivol?
Actually, I don't want second fight too. I mean, it's not my choice, but no problem. We're gonna do third fight.
After the fight, I came to Beterbiev and I told him, Artur, I respect you so much because when I was young and I came to national team, I was looking after you, how you are training, and you were the #1. I really respect you and I want to shake your hand and say thank you for this fight. And we shake hands. And he said, thank you for the fight also, and this is sport. Yeah, this is what happened. You are a good fighter also. And then we had another talk. He came, but he didn't. But he said like, I will not shake hand now because we will have third fight. And it was in the normal way, not like arrogant. You know, it was fine. I said, okay, no problem.
Main event, what a fight it was. I mean, 2 unbelievable gladiators, the best of their generation by far. And what a fight they put on for the fans. I mean, it had everything. It was fought at an unbelievable pace, brilliant skills, courage, bloody whiskers they've got, the pair of them. And I've got to take my hat off to Beterbiev. He's 40 years of age. How does he do that?
Oh my goodness. What was your thoughts right before they read the scorecards?
I thought Bivol just got it. I thought he came back into it. You know, I think we talked about it before the fight. I said I think the first round would be like the 13th or the last where Beterbiev came back into it. I felt that he would start stronger this time, but I was surprised that he just, like at one stage, you know, was it I think about the 8th round, it seemed like a little bit of gas slowed down a bit. But great fight, fabulous fight.
Some people have people winning both fights. Of course, the first one went to Beterbiev on the card. So what happens if we see a third, which I assume we're going to do?
Well, I'm sure the guys will do it. You know, I mean, nothing's been done yet. But if they do, cool, bloody hell. Can you imagine what that's going to be like?
And the new, I mean, listen, I was going for Beterbiev, but I think the right man won tonight. Could have been a draw, but I think that Bivol edged it by 1-2 rounds, for sure.
What do you think made the difference?
The accumulating of punches. I think that even though he was fighting on his back foot, he was throwing more combinations, and I think landing a little bit more, a bit better. I think what I would take from Beterbiev, I think what I noticed a bit different was that he was going for the body more than the head. I think he should have kept going that route. I think it would have slowed Bivol down, but hey, I think that we should look forward to a trilogy now.
Unbelievable. I mean, to be honest with you, I can't believe Dmitry Bivol won that fight after what I saw through 5 rounds, because I thought he won the first 2 rounds, and then we knew Beterbiev would start fast, and he just came out like an absolute train, and it looked like nothing was going to stop him, or nothing was going to just reduce the pressure. And what we saw from there is probably the best boxing performance I've ever seen live. It was unbelievable. I mean, young fighters, look at the way he stabbed the body, landed on the body, made Beterbiev follow him around, worked at angles. It was just the purest performance I've ever seen.
Derek, we have just seen Dmitry Bivol crowned undisputed. What do you make of his performance tonight?
Great fight. He won the last 2 rounds. That's why he won it.
In terms of winning the last 2 rounds, that's where he thinks he lost it in the last fight. What technically do you think he improved on?
You see, he dropped round 9, yeah, and 10 was split, and then you just went on from 11, 12, and that was it.
Do you think he won or lost the first fight?
I think he lost. He lost the first fight because they didn't give him the belts. If he won that, they would have given him the belt. So he lost the first fight. He won the second fight. Now we'll see fight number 3.
Before the fight, experts had differing views on the rematch. Dave Caldwell shared his perspective, suggesting that Bivol would have performed better in their first encounter if he had attacked the body earlier. Caldwell predicted that this time, Bivol would focus on targeting his opponent's body from the start.
I expect him to go to the body earlier because we saw towards the end of the fight, Bivol was dragged into more of a fight, and he coped with it really well. In fact, throughout the fight, in quite a few of the exchanges, he handled himself really, really well, which surprised a lot of people. But he got dragged into the fight later on. If Beterbiev was going to the body earlier, would that have happened earlier, and would he have been able to cope for as longer periods? So I'm expecting Beterbiev to go to the body more.
Dave Caldwell also shared his expectations for Bivol in the rematch, noting that Bivol had already experienced Artur Beterbievol's power and knew what to expect. He believed Bivol would enter the fight with more confidence and praised the skills and preparations of both fighters.
But also, I'm expecting Bivol, because he's now been in the ring with a monster, he knows what that power feels like, he knows what, he knows how it's going to be, and he feels as though he equipped himself really well and he coped with it. I wonder if Bivol's going to be more confident and a better fighter. I expect both fighters to be better.
Before the fight, Bivol's trainers were fully confident in his victory. Mark Ramsey, Bivol's head trainer, shared his thoughts on the rematch, reflecting on their previous encounter. While he acknowledged that Bivol had struggled to land clean shots, Ramsey remained highly confident that this time Bivol would cause much more damage to Bivol.
In the first fight, we really beat him up physically, like you say, but it was never really clean punch that we are able. He came. We have to give him that. He came with a very strong, tight defense in that fight. And we was not able to really make him do a bad move and catch him right on the chin or right. Majority of the punch was on the guard and outside of the straight punches, straight right. It was hard to catch very clean. I think we can do a way better job at this, using the right angle and the right punch at the right moment. And of course, it would be low.
Renowned boxing analyst Russ Amber also shared his thoughts on the rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev. Reflecting on their previous bout, he suggested that Dmitry Bivol would need to come up with something exceptional to succeed this time.
Bivol's going to have to come up with something. He's going to have to pull something out of the hat to come up with a better performance and overtake whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. So, but at least it's a great fight. At least it matches, the rematch is made, and that's great.
Reflecting on the previous bout between Bivol and Beterbiev, Russ Amber noted that Beterbiev fought more cautiously than usual. He predicted that Beterbiev would approach the rematch with greater aggression. Amber explained that Beterbiev had undergone knee surgery, which may have affected his usual forcefulness, making him more conservative in their first fight. Despite this, Amber believed Beterbiev finished strong, especially in the last 3 rounds, and demonstrated the ability to hurt Bivol. He felt Beterbiev could improve on his performance in the rematch. Teddy Atlas also shared his perspective on the first fight, cautioning Bivol about what to avoid in the rematch. He expressed his belief that Beterbiev was the true winner of their initial encounter and deserved the victory. Atlas emphasized the importance of strategy for both fighters heading into the rematch, outlining expectations for how each should approach the fight. Both analysts offered insights into the strategies they believed would be key in the upcoming clash.
He did everything he had to do to win that fight the first time. What he has to not do, and I think the perfect encapsulation of this, Bud, would be, bear with me if I'm wrong with the round, but either way, I'm not wrong with what happened. Around the 7th round, a little past the midway point, around the 7th round of a fight that he might have been winning. Tough fight. But I thought Beterbiev came on in the championship rounds and won the fight. I thought he won. I mean, no controversy, but a good fight, a tough fight. And I expect the same thing, no less, from both these top guys.
While many praised Bivol for his performance in the first fight against Beterbiev, Bivol had a different perspective. Although others believed he won, for him, it was about more than just the result. He shared his thoughts, emphasizing what truly mattered to him in the situation.
I didn't think about, oh, I won or I lose. I was thinking about this moment in the fight wasn't good. This moment was good. I have a fight. I have to create much more good moments. That's it. It's not necessary to think about. You cannot change anything. You cannot complain about that, oh, I didn't win or I won but they didn't give me the win. It makes you weak. It doesn't help you for the preparation. This is why I decided no, it doesn't matter. Fight is done. I have another fight. I have to work on another fight. Moving forward.
Beterbiev's trainer, John Scully, highlighted Beterbiev's powerful punches, recalling the visible damage on Bivol's face. He noted that during the press conference, Bivol's eyes showed signs of discoloration, indicating he hadn't fully healed from the injury sustained in their October fight. Scully made it clear that they were prepared to capitalize on the same advantage in the rematch that had been evident in their previous encounter.
That shows you how hard Artur's hitting in there. And I saw they went to the press conference a few weeks ago, and none of us went, just Artur and he went. And you could see in the pictures that the eye was discolored, almost like it was still discolored from October, which isn't unreasonable when you get that kind of damage. So either way, it's either the same injury or he's been damaged again. But that shows the susceptibility there, which obviously we're going to exploit.
John Scully went on to highlight factors favoring Beterbiev's chances of winning this time. While both fighters needed adjustments, Scully believed Beterbiev had a better opportunity to make them. He made a surprising revelation, suggesting that Bivol wouldn't have enough this time to box effectively.
In the beginning, it would seem to me we have more that we could adjust and be successful than Bivol does. Because, in the grand scheme of things, he can't fight with her. He can't say, okay, this time I'm going to go toe-to-toe. He can't do that. We know he can't do that. And he doesn't want to do that. I know he doesn't want to do that. But he can't box more because then it'll look like he doesn't want to fight. You know what I mean? So he's going to have to blend some of that together. And either way, to win, he's going to have to make himself a little more susceptible, which is obviously in our favor. So that's where I stand on that.
Former light heavyweight world champion Alexander Gvozdyk also shared his thoughts on the potential rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. Reflecting on their first fight, he leaned toward Bivol. While Beterbiev was undergoing intense training for the upcoming bout, Gvozdyk, who had fought Beterbiev himself, believed Beterbiev was no longer in his prime and was starting to decline as he approached 40.
Well, the first fight I was thinking is gonna be Beterbiev, but after fight, I scored Bivol win, maybe a little bit, but still win this fight. Won. Yeah, I got Bivol, yeah. But it's usually a question either because Beterbiev is about 40 years old, so it's either he starts fading out, just getting old, because obviously when he trains, he feels like he's 100%. But only when you fight this type of opponents like Bivol is, then you see the difference where your body not react as good the same as before. I basically think that Bivol won the first fight, but at the same time, I have to admit that I didn't see the same Beterbiev as in his last fight. He was super aggressive, this vicious pressure, those punches. Maybe there's two options. Maybe either Bivol didn't let him, or plus he was right. Beterbiev was coming back to ring right after injury. Plus, maybe they didn't have enough time or something, and so now it's gonna be. We're gonna see what happens.
Alexander continued to back Bivol in the rematch against Beterbiev, stating that Bivol now had greater confidence. He believed that, having already faced Beterbiev, Bivol would apply lessons from their first encounter. Alexander also highlighted a key factor he felt would lead to Bivol's victory in the rematch.
Bivol's gonna be better this time, I'm sure. He's gonna be more confident. He knows what to do. He knows what he didn't do or didn't do enough. And Beterbiev, if we're gonna see like an old version of Beterbiev, like all his previous fight before Bivol. This is gonna be an interesting fight. But if he starts fading up, I think this Bivol has an advantage because he's young, he's getting confident, and now he's supposed to do what he's supposed to do.
On the other hand, John Scully was confident that Beterbiev would secure another victory. He emphasized the striking difference in Beterbiev's preparations since their last encounter, noting that Beterbiev had become a much improved fighter. Scully assured that Beterbiev would deliver his best performance, backed by enhanced strength and conditioning.
For sure. Well, you know, we came off the last fight. He had just gotten surgery done on his knee, on a meniscus, which I hadn't even thought about until actually relatively recently. But I'm sure that was on his mind. But for this fight, he's I guess like even with his strength coach is saying the difference is night and day between last fight and this fight. He can do so much more like he normally does. And I think different things that we've worked on that he's responding to, I would say I feel very happy about.
The February 22nd fight card was shaping up to be the best of the century, with Beterbiev and Bivol facing off in the highly anticipated rematch. Expectations were incredibly high. Abel Sanchez believed that Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev were clearly superior to David Benavidez. In an interview with Marcos Vasquez, Sanchez analyzed Benavidez's performance against David Morrell and discussed how he would fare against both Bivol and Beterbiev.
Those two guys are head and shoulders above these two guys. Bivol and Beterbiev are natural 75-pounders, I want to say. Bivol is a much, much better technically sound fighter than Benavidez. Hits a little bit harder, I think, than Benavidez, and a little stronger than Benavidez. And Morrell's got a little way to go. Now the monster, the other guy, the real monster, Beterbiev, to me, if he's able to stay busy, now he's getting at a little later age now, but he's able to stay busy with a punch output against any of these guys, he beats them easy because of his strength and power. But I think that what's going to be is the detriment to him is that he may not be as busy as he used to be just because he's getting older and maybe he's conserving a little bit more. In the Bivol fight, I thought he conserved a little too much. The first fight, maybe in this one he won't. We'll see a better Bivol and a better Beterbiev in this fight. But I don't think that either guy, Morrell or David Benavidez, is ready for those two.
Prior to facing Bivol in the ring, after his grand arrival, Beterbiev shared his thoughts in an interview. He stated that his primary focus wasn't on securing a knockout, but on delivering solid boxing and performing at his best.
It's good, like it is boxing, I never focus for knockout or something. I'm more focused for...
Frank Warren also shared his thoughts on the rematch between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. While acknowledging that their last fight was close, Warren predicted a win for Beterbiev. In a recent interview, he shockingly revealed the round in which he expects the knockout to occur.
Interview over there, I thought the first time he won it by a few rounds. I watched it back, it was close, but I still thought he won it. This time round, I think it'll be the 13th round of the last fight. That's my opinion, but I got it wrong. I picked Beterbiev to win it last time, but changed my mind on the result. I thought it was the other way around. But I think it's a tough fight. But I've got to go with Beterbiev. I think he knows what he's got to do. Obviously, Bivol does as well. He's a great fighter, but he's strong, Beterbiev, and you've got to hurt him. You've got to hurt him. You've got to really slow him down. You've got to hurt him, and I don't know whether he can do that.
Eddie Hearn was also present at the grand event and shared his thoughts on the rematch. While he didn't make a clear pick between the two fighters, he speculated on the events of their previous bout. Hearn noted that despite Bivol attempting to keep Beterbiev at bay, there was a point where Bivol stopped throwing punches. He believed Bivol hadn't given his full effort in their last fight and expected him to perform better this time, showing more determination and intensity.